Covered Calls, Strategy Mastery and Coaching Program. A covered calls, strategy or new. A system monthly. We have a bunch of covered calls, strategies, and systems just sitting around, so we decided to add the systems to this program. Save big vs individual purchase. One of the primary objectives for selling covered calls is to create a cash flow portfolio independent of a buy and hold portfolio. We sell covered calls with momentum. Learn how to combine price action, chart-based strategies for selling covered calls for more profit vs the old way for many times more cash flow opportunities. Covered calls explained, and the new way of selling covered calls. Identifying ideal covered calls stocks. Let's look at some examples. Day trading covered calls, a closer look. Yes, you can day trade covered calls for a lot more covered calls cash flow with smart covered call day trading strategies. Micro swing trading covered calls. A closer look at a whole new world of profit opportunities with covered calls. Let's get started making a covered calls cash flow retirement portfolio. Covered call pops trading. Who says you need to wait till expiration? Just take the money and run. Average out multiple pops per month, net profit 2 more dramatic, accelerate your cash flow. Just say no to old school covered calls. Old school covered calls traps and how we've solved them. Calls can be a great strategy or a mediocre strategy. How to make it great. One of the primary objectives for selling covered calls is to create a cash flow portfolio independent of a buy and hold portfolio. Selling out of the money covered calls. Selling in the money covered calls. Covered calls selling as binary options trading. How to sell in the money calls for greater profiting. Swing trading covered calls, a much better way. Last week to expiration, exploits, possibilities. Day trading possibilities with covered calls, how to get in and out of a covered call. Last 2 days premium, exploits. Covered calls, micro swing trading, how to make money even multiple times per week. Selling with premium. We sell covered calls with momentum. Objective. The covered calls cash flow portfolio. There's no use blatantly selling out of the money calls without a specific strategy. Establishing a specific covered calls portfolio. Selling further out in time to expiration covered calls for riding momentum while avoiding chances of getting your long-term stock holdings called out against you. Get more info from the link below.